Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. Today we're going to be talking about the top three PvP builds in the game. Now, from the experience that I've gotten from PvP so far, it is not pretty. I'm letting you know now, for those who are interested in PvP, you guys have to at least get your hands on some full kit legendary gear with at least a couple upgrades, and then a decent legendary weapon with a couple upgrades too. Five being the minimum because it starts to really ramp up because a lot of these guys got, like, obviously because of the scroll influx where there's like now a million scrolls everywhere. Now, with that situation being dealt with, the scrolls can't be dealt with. So a lot of people are just gonna, if you really want to win PvP, that's just the only way people are getting those multiples and multiples of scrolls and stuff and stuff. So you guys have to realize that's just the first half. The second half is creating the perfect build. And I'm going to tell you everything that I've seen in PvP so far through these three different builds that I've been able to see. Allow me to get some water. I've had a frog in my throat all morning. Now, with this being the case, let's talk about the first build. The first build is definitely going to be a Greatsword bow build. Now, with these skills that I'm going to be choosing for Greatsword bow build is literally due to the fact that bow is still very, very viable. Now, I'm a little sad that it's not the most viable, but it's still very viable. The reason why is you could still poke mages, you could still trick mages, you could fire faster than mages, and there's like a few things and reasons why. All right, first things first, stun shot can be performed mid-air or on the ground. So, very, very good. Now, you kind of want to go for the stun, and you want to go for the casting speed. Now, the reason why is because stun is going to give you an opening to use stuff like Greatsword's Challenge, which is amazing. Greatsword's Challenge is going to be able to end most fights right there, just because of the ridiculous damage scaling that exists for Greatsword. But as you can see, doing stun shot is definitely going to be doing something, and especially if you get casting speed. The reason why I prefer casting speed and stun is due to the fact that casting speed allows you to cast this ability faster, and you could pretty much play a Western shootout with a mage, being able to pretty much stun them before they could release a magic spell. It happens, like, it kind of works half of the time because the game doesn't really have a true stun, but that's the game developers' issues that they need to fix. The other one is going to be explosive shot with the poison effect. It's the strongest poison effect in the game. Very crazy. Also comes with a silence, which is very, very good. You could go for the slow. It's really good. It's a really good slow. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a really good slow. But that's not going to stop them from casting spells or stopping them from coming back at you. You need a little bit of preparation time, and that's what this silence is for. It's to buy you a little bit of time. Now, that's my choice. But if you're going against a greatsword user, or you feel like you're dealing with them a little more often, which you might do, you might want to go for the slowness, kind of shut them down a little bit. But there's a lot of stuff that kind of keeps them coming at you. So yeah, that's kind of like the method that I would choose. Always take the poison in this one because the poison effect is so strong, and it pretty much will win you most of your fights if you literally just play like defensive. More defensive is what this build is. So very, very good. Solar Arrow. The reason why I prefer Solar Arrow is literally due to the fact that you could get a lot of damage in with Solar Arrow, and it could be used at a ridiculous range too. I can't say that it's like the most broken, but it's definitely going to be better than using Arrow Tempest, because Arrow Tempest damage scaling cannot even like scratch normal people's armor. Now, with this being the case, right? I'm just going to go ahead and, if for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and mute my notifications real quick. Mute this conversation for 3 hours. There we go. Okay. They also added slot. Oh, did they actually? Oh, they did a lot of player changes. Let's see. Oh, that's going to be something to talk about in a little bit. Let's see. Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. So that's going to be, what do you call it? A part of the update that we're going to be talking about in a little bit. But, yeah, with Solar Arrow, you get the reduced cooldown reduction. You get the power. This thing can hit like a truck. It is just the epitome of straight up damage. And you're not going to hit it most of the time, at least not when, people are playing normal. But if a mage is trying to be like sneaky and they're trying to like cast spells a lot more often, you can really just pick them off using this and then get some major shots in on mages. Now, the Greatsword that you kind of want to use is going to actually be used twice, because we're going to be using this Greatsword build twice, by the way. So do keep in mind, we're going to be using Challenge with Immunity and Slowness. Now, you're probably like, but why don't you just take Radius? Radius is really good. Don't get me wrong, Radius is really good. But Crowd Control Immunity, when you're dealing with characters like Mages and Archers, this is going to save you a lot of time. A lot of time. And it's going to keep you from being stun locked. It's going to keep you from being frozen, whatever the crap happens. Mostly just stun locked, really. So immunity is very, very good for dealing with like those types of players, and then you can take advantage from there. Slowness is definitely going to be a very big factor and benefactor to you, because you do not want them running away. Slowness is a detriment, absolute detriment. You're absolutely kneecapping people when you take slowness, and that's what makes it so, so good. All right, so Skyren Strike is just the highest damaging move in the entire game, hands down. It's got ridiculous scaling. It can stun. It can literally lead into another combo, and this is like the only time that the stun's actually useful. By the way, like grants a 50% chance to stun all hit targets. The only issue is it is a 50% chance, but a 50-50 is not too bad, especially if you're going to literally lead into a whole nother combo. And then power. Obviously, this damage is just insane with this skill. Honestly, very overtuned for a very close and really strong attack. Next, we're going to be taking Sword Hook. This is literally just your combo extender. You're going to be knocking your enemy back, grabbing them back with a Sword Hook, pulling them back in, repeating the combo, or switching off to a different weapon to continue another combo. This is kind of like the main, what you're going to be using this for. You're going to be taking crowd control immunity, of course, because you want an extra duration increase that stacks with this one. So that is very, very good. Let's see. Then we have range. Obviously, you want to hit them from as much distance as you possibly can. Now, that is the first build, which is the Greatsword Bow combo. Very nice combo. Is it meta? It's close, but it's not exactly there. The reason why is because of what happened with staves. We got Fire Staff. We got Ice Staff. Yes, we're going to be talking about the Mage and the builds that you can make with Mage. Now, this is a very versatile build. Now, the reason I say this is because you could literally get either Fire Staff or Ice Staff or Celestial Staff in the same category and kind of run with it. Now, the thing with the staves, right? All Mage is just very, very broken, but I'm going to talk about the skills very quickly and the ones that you kind of want to take. So, Fire Staff, you're going to take Inferno Orb. This thing just does too much damage. Insta-kills most people. Very broken. You're going to take cooldown reduction, and you're going to take power. You could take burn. Honestly, it's really up to you if you want burn. But I would take this, burn, power, maybe. It depends on how much damage you really want to do. A lot of people love damage more than they love cooldown reduction, but don't scoff at a 50% cooldown reduction. This is the best possible move you could ever pull in PvP. Does splash damage, insta-kill. This one, Blazing Circle, keeps the Greatsword users off of you. You want the multiple shots, and you want that power. Next, we're going to be talking about... I have not really seen fire bullets being used. Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of mages love fire bullets. The only issue with fire bullets is the fact that I have not seen many mages use this in PvP. I've actually seen them use a lot more of Lava Circle because of that instant cast speed. They jump in the air, they pop a Lava Circle, it burns their feet, they get that extra damage, they get that cooldown reduction, or they go for the burn, one of the two. And it's just such a broken ability, especially in PvP, because you could fake out people, make them think that you're going to go for like a fireball, and then boom, all of a sudden an insta-cast Lava Circle at their feet. It's amazing. It's a very tricky move. I love it. Let's see. Ice Staff. Now this is very fun. Now you're going to be taking range, and you're going to be taking stun because you're only dealing with one target. And with stun, it's just such a disgusting stun. You have a high chance of literally just stun locking your opponent because of how fast the turret actually shoots, and it does so much damage. It's absolutely insane. So that's what you're going to be taking there. You're going to be taking Ice Snipe. Ice Snipe is just so easy to hit, and that's the scary part. It's faster than Solar Arrow. It can be shot from across the map. I've seen people end the entire fight with just this one move, from a really good distance using the stun. You could also use it as a stun, and then you could also use it with cooldown reduction, granting a 6-second casting time. Ridiculous damage. Now, the funny part is, I have not seen many ice barriers. I've actually seen a lot more snowballs, and which is kind of crazy to me. Maybe it's because like mages love the snowball a lot more than they like ice barrier, and it's understandable because with ice barrier you are left open if you do miss the stun. The buffs aren't that good, so I see why people will use snowball half the time. Snowball, they normally take cooldown reduction and they take the slowness, obviously, because you're going to be slowing them down and then kind of moving along with that. Now the PvP build for this is actually rather insane. Obviously, you're going to be taking group heal for yourself. You're going to take the speed buff and you're going to take the heal, not casting speed. You could take mana drain. I've seen a lot of mages take mana drain, but the thing is, after that nerf, I can't really say that mana drain is the best because they could still take advantage if they're a warrior, or they could just really hit you with more magic abilities while you're trying to mana drain them. It's not as fast as it was on release of PvP, but Harmony Strike is still very very viable because of that silence, because of that invisibility. You can use it on yourself, but it really comes down to if you want power or if you want invisibility. This is not the highest damaging move ever, so I would take invisibility over power. That's just me, though. Here I've seen both be taken. I've seen Pulse of Life be taken for that extra bit of armor, even though it doesn't really work like that. It's broken right now. That no one's listening to me, but this is broken. This doesn't work, nor does the armor potions. I don't know why no one's listening on that factor, but that's just what's happening right now. We tested it. No one listens. Feathered Hex is pretty good too. Honestly, Feathered Hex with the range increase and the duration is very, very good. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Celestial Staff. Now, for the first time ever, the last build we're going to be talking about is a build that took one of our friends. He's not really a guild member anymore. He used to be a guild member, so I could steal his ideas without asking him. But he got to number 5 on the leaderboards, beating the duped armor dudes, beating the duped armor mages, and beating like most of the people with the most minimal of gear because of this tactic and this build. And we're going to be talking about it today. And it's going to be the exact same Greatsword build, by the way. So, this is the Greatsword build that you're always going to use for PvP. But now we're going to talk about Dagger for once. Now, the dealio with Dagger, right, is that you have different methods to use it. And I'm going to talk about the method that this guy uses. Now, I'm not very clear on what is like his first and second skill. But actually, I do know his second skill, but I don't know his first skill. But I'm going to tell you my best guess. Now, Bleeding Daggers, range, slowness. Now, hear me out. Bleeding Dagger, rage, slowness. This move allows you to literally bleed your opponent, but that's not the big thing. The big factor is slowing. If you could slow them down with the best range you can, really get them into a combo, then you're good. Because you're going to be using the Greatsword with this, which is absolutely insane. You wouldn't think it, right? But it's an amazing build. You're going to be using Blink Dagger. You're going to be using critical hit with the critical hit power. And it's because it's a single target. Now, hear me out. All right? Those who say Dagger is made for PvE because of this stupid move, stop it. Because literally, this move does not mean that this is for PvE. This just means that it's good against bosses. Don't get me wrong. You do a lot of damage against bosses, but everyone does a lot of damage against bosses. I use critical hits with my bow and I do damage against bosses. So this is not like a magical thing. This isn't like, what do you call it, the one-shot king. This is mostly a PvP affected ability. Now, hear me out. The reason you're going to use this is because you're going to be taking advantage of two things. You're going to take advantage of the critical hit power, and you're going to take advantage of invisibility. Now, invisibility is the only magical move that allows you to actually go all the way and stack these buffs for 10 seconds. 10 seconds, 10 seconds, any sword move, and you got them. You could use the challenge, you could use the Skyrender Strike if you get close enough, and that ends a fight right there. That's how quick it is. Because everyone, keep in mind, the devs did not pay attention to this before they released the game, but none of us got points for Constitution. No one can actually put points on for Constitution at this point. So if they cared about people not getting one shot, they wouldn't tell. They wouldn't have made the stat system the way they did. The stat system right now is absolutely stupid. One, if you're a Death Knight armor dude, you're dying to any type of magic. If you're a mage, you're dying to any heavy attacks, hands down. I mean, you're taking nothing but actual damage. And if you're wearing light armor, you're doing just fine. It's so lopsided, it's crazy. And that's not even talking about the weapons. Keep in mind, if we talk about like the difference between magic, almost 600% normal, and over here, if we talk about the bow, 300%. And great sword, 400%, 480, almost 500%. So you tell me how lopsided the stats are. And you could say, oh, but Koi, not everyone's got unique weapons now because of the duping situation, and that left a lot of materials lying around. People are selling great swords for paper clips. So don't tell me that, like, people aren't getting these unique weapons. I saw someone selling 4 unique bows with god stats on them. Yes, I wanted to buy one, but of course I'm not going to do that because that ruins my credibility as a content creator. Like that, you know what I mean? If I just start buying duped stuff, then it's going to look very bad on me. Because this is like stuff that, I can't really say that I, want to. It's just me, man. Morality for me. But hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below. If you guys got any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down below. And I will see you guys later. Take it easy and peace.